Over the past few months of being completely self-isolated, I've made my own little personal homebrew expansion, Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. I call it the Swords and Slimes expansion. It's for free, and now you guys can have it too. Please check with your DMs before using this. Don't be that guy that just walks up and says, I'm gonna use this homebrew thing that some other dude made on the internet, and then your DM looks at you like, what are you doing in my house? So yeah. I'm kind of proud of this. I hope you guys enjoy it. I worked very hard to make sure that this is balanced and fits in the realm of D&D. It's all for free, down in the description below. The video is going to be me talking about this expansion. That's the video you get this month, so you've been warned. For this expansion, I provided a couple of things. 3 all brand new subclasses that I felt could easily fit into D&D, and I think if I do another one of these, I'm definitely going to expand on one of them, so that's going to be cool. I also provided 3 fixes to subclasses that already exist because I felt they were really bad and needed to be fixed, and I also made 2 brand new feats. I'm going to start with those feats. The first feat I made is called Do-It-Yourself Opportunist. I think gadgets are really cool and should be implemented more into D&D, as well as trinkets, adventuring gear, and things of that nature, so that's what this feat does. It just kind of highlights that, and allows you to be kind of this really cool MacGyver-type person. The second feat I made up is called Magic Eye. I also felt that a lot of people want certain magic items, but they can never seem to get their hands on it without the DM custom tailoring the experience so that you just get the item. And I feel like that's not enough and doesn't really emphasize how much you've tried to get the item. So I made this feat to help make it a little bit easier for that. In terms of fixes, I fixed Way of the 4 Elements in a way that I felt would make it more of a subclass, because as is, it's just, hey, do you want to cast spells but you didn't pick Sorcerer or something? Take Monk and spend your key points on casting spells for a really stacked cost that's really bad. My big fix here was just giving them actual abilities instead and just throwing out most of the spell stuff because I thought it was kind of crap. I hope it works out. I think it's fine. Again, I took a lot of painstaking effort to make sure it's at the bare minimum balanced. So, take it for what it is. I think it's a pretty decent fix. The second thing I fixed was Purple Dragon Knight because, oh my god, this is the worst subclass I've ever seen in my life. This is a really bad subclass on its own, and it desperately needed fixes, and most of those fixes came down to just changing when you get certain abilities, and also fixing Rally and Cry, that was really bad, and just giving them a better level 15 ability, which it's called Heart of the Dragon. I'm really proud of it. I think it's really fun. It involves dragons, which you're a Purple Dragon Knight, so that kind of makes sense. So I hope that goes well. The last big fix I did was Great Old One's Warlock. I feel that the reason this one isn't played is just because the other patrons in Warlock are better by comparison, so I just made some small fixes to some of the earlier level abilities, because those earlier level abilities either are given to you for free by certain races, or were just worse than other things given to you by other classes. But the later abilities are honestly just as good, so there's that. Finally, let's talk about the meat and bones of this expansion, being the 3 big subclasses I custom made. The first one that I custom made was for Druid. I call it Slimemancy, or if you want to get technical, Circle of the Slimes. You get to use your wild shape to turn into slimes now too. I feel that oozes aren't really well represented in Dungeons & Dragons, so now they can be. You can do things like talk to them, kind of shapeshift into them, and considering they're oozes, I felt that it would fit well with Druid, so hopefully you people agree with that. And there's also a nice little list of cards that I made for the slimes that you can turn into at the certain levels. So there's that. The second subclass I made was a ranger subclass called Cursed Predator. I felt a lot of rangers were just kind of the same, and all that really defined them was what they hunted. So for this one, I said you hunt using fear by getting to be a lycanthrope, a vampire, or a revenant. Yeah, you get to be cursed and, you know, do some really crazy stuff when you're stalking and hunting people down in a really scary manner. This one took a lot of time to figure out because, as I say in the expansion pack, you don't get the stats of lycanthropes or your players as vampires. It's something completely different. It took a lot of time to balance, a lot of time to make right, while fitting the feel that you're a vampire or a werewolf or something like that without horribly breaking yourself. And I'm very proud of how it all turned out. Bumping the Night's just a hilarious ability I gave at 3rd level that I just like the name of that. And also, I think it adds a new flavor to Ranger that I think is missing from Ranger, that being using fear to stalk prey, because that's effectively what you are. You're a hunter. So you hunt prey. Anyway, the final subclass I made was for Barbarian called Path of the Oni, and if that doesn't make enough sense as to what it is, you get to become a yokai and be a scary demon barbarian, effectively. I felt a lot of barbarians just got rage from either guardians or the gods, and I felt it all kind of was the same, so I wanted to differ it up a little bit by making it a little bit darker and a little bit quieter. And I hope that's what this does. A good portion of this is you get to cast spells as a barbarian, which I think in doing that now every class can technically cast spells, but I'm not entirely sure. And also, the 14th level ability, Death Mask, is one of my most favorite things I've made so far for D&D. Do check it out. I think it's really cool and pretty insane for a barbarian ability. Hopefully it doesn't break your game. And that's kind of the short and tall of this entire expansion. Again, it's for free, down in the description below. It's on a nice little PDF for you to look at. I hope you guys enjoy it, and again, this is the video for this month. I'm moving, so I couldn't really think of something too deep or philosophical to talk about because my content is so smart and educated. Hopefully next month I'll have something a little bit bigger planned. Well, that's all I got. Please do give this thing a look, and if you do use it, please comment below how you used it and if you guys enjoyed using it, because I had a lot of fun making this, and I will probably make another one in the future. Okay, that's all I got. Goodbye.